To solve this data sufficiency question, we'll consider each statement separately first, then together if needed. Before the statements, we need to determine the coordinates of point L, given the right triangles LMN and NOP have equal areas. Since the areas are equal, it follows that 1/2 times the line segment LM times MN will equal 1/2 times OP times NP. The left-hand side represents the area of triangle LMN, and the right side represents the area of triangle NOP. We can actually cancel the 1/2s, so we're left with the relationship LM times MN equals OP times NP. If LM is known, the coordinates of point L can be determined. So we either need to find out what are the coordinate points of L, or we could be able to determine the length of LM, because that would be able to determine or tell us what the coordinate points were. So either of those will be sufficient if we can find out that information using the given statements. So we're going to go ahead and consider statement 1 first. For statement 1, it's given that LM equals MN and NP equals OP. So we can conclude that LM squared equals MN squared, which equals OP squared, which equals NP squared. Since we don't know the lengths of OP or NP, or anything about any of the coordinates, we cannot determine the coordinates of point L. So this statement alone is not sufficient. We don't have enough information to determine either the coordinates of L or LM. We can eliminate answer choice A and D, since statement 1 is not sufficient alone. Let's go ahead and consider statement 2 alone. And we'll slide down just for a little bit of room. It's given that the coordinates of point O are 8, 4. So up here we can have our coordinate point here is 8, 4. It follows that point P must have a coordinate point of 8, 0. That means that this distance right here, OP, is equal to 4. So we can conclude that OP line segment is equal to 4. However, it does not follow that the coordinates of L are 0, 4, since we don't know anything about the coordinates of point N. Our lengths LM and LM, MN, and NP, we don't know anything about either. For example, if MN is equal to NP, so this line segment here is equal to this line segment, then LM and OP will equal each other. So this would equal this, and this would be 4, since the areas of the triangles are equal. But if MN, line segment here, is bigger than NP, then LM is going to be less than OP, because the areas will then need to be equal. So since we don't know those lengths, or any other coordinate points, this statement alone is not sufficient. So statement 2 alone is not sufficient, and we can eliminate answer choice B. So our last resort, we're choosing between C or E. We'll need to consider both statements together. So sliding down a tiny bit, let's go ahead and take a look at statements 1 and statement 2 together. Together we know that LM equals MN from statement 1 and NP equals OP from statement 1. We also know that OP equals 4 from statement 2. Since LM times MN equals OP times NP, it follows that LM squared equals 4 squared. And thus we can conclude that LM is equal to 4. Therefore, the coordinates of point L can be determined since we know the length. This statement, or these two statements together, are sufficient. We can find the coordinate points of L. So if we slide back up, we can eliminate answer choice E, and the correct answer would be answer choice C. Both statements together are sufficient, but neither statement alone is sufficient.